resurrects. A minute 10 left on the clock.
FaZe has to be careful though. Like, you know, the stall tactic has been working up until this point, but they've given up a lot of map control to Orbit now, and the aggression of Orbit's really paying off. Enable needs to go big here, set up on top of the bridge. He's going to land some shots, and he's going to fall. Just being a nuisance here is Enable, but this is such a power position. He's locking it down, and it is a big reason that FaZe may end up taking this game. Those 2 kills are massive.
And then Zuma just goes ahead, pops his reactive armor, soaks up some damage, but his teammate able to trade out the kill there onto Joe. Now FaZe is in forward position to work with Enable, just being a nuisance behind enemy lines. As he falls, it's going to be Clayster popping his overdrive, zipping past players, but can't get a score. Now 30 seconds remaining, FaZe close to 3-0-ing Orbit here.
Yeah, no, with the drone in hand, Orbit is actually looking like they're going to go on the overextension with it, and they have an overdrive of their own. So
trying to reset it.
Trying to reset it there, but he's going to actually get taken out by Attach, and it's going to be rated, trying to get over towards the drone with 10 seconds left.
That's game.
It looks like this should be game, but if you're Orbit, why not have used the overdrive earlier?
I mean, yeah, they had a lot of time to use it. FaZe, they're going to close this series out as they advance to the bracket portion here at the PlayStation Experience with a swift 3-0 over Orbit. European team, gotta say, we saw a lot of mistakes in the search and destroy from them, as well as the uplink. And that final push there from Orbit, that's exactly why you can't push to the courtyard side of the map.
You can't push towards that courtyard side, and also you see just the small mistakes coming in. Right there, you had 2 players in support. You needed to use the overdrive. Even if you get nothing out of it there, like, that's your best chance of making a play happen.
The game winds up ending, and he doesn't even use
to use overdrive, except the way they used it, which was coming off of the spawn. But very good look from FaZe Clan here in this series against Orbit. They take it 3-0. Take a look at the stats from the uplink.
Yeah, Zuma leading the charge here. He goes positive 10. Everybody else from FaZe around the even area, whereas on the side of Orbit, rough game for Joe as he goes -7. But FaZe continue to impress, and they're living up to our...
After this break, though, we have the Group B matches starting up.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live. You see the beautiful Courage in the background, but that is Elevate in the forefront. They will be going up against a new Rise Nation squad led by the captain, Looney. He's now joined by 3 players, familiar faces from last year. They used to play for Elevate.
Yeah, this is quite the scenario. Their first team now on LAN as this new Rise Nation lineup. 3 of them facing their old organization. Interesting to see, though, as that old organization now representing Europe. Wondering how it all plays out. I think that this is one, though, that this Rise Nation squad, they're feeling prepared for. They're good to go. I haven't seen a ton of this Elevate lineup. I'm excited to watch them play. Some very familiar names from the European scene. I would say, though, a lot of pressure on Shawnee, the new guy on this lineup. How does it all play out? I know we'll get a little bit more in depth with these teams, though, coming up.
Yeah, we'll get into that in just a moment. But if you are just joining us on the live stream, welcome.
Yes.
This, of course, is our CWL Invitational at the PlayStation Experience. He's got long sleeves, man. He's got long sleeves. Yeah. This is now Group B. So we just finished the early rounds of Group A. Congratulations, FaZe, the first team to lock into the bracket. Yep. We'll have to see later. Is Orbit going to be making it through, or will it be Renegades as Evil Geniuses? Yep. But here in Group B, we are starting fresh. Elevate and Rise, your first match, and then coming up next, we'll see Luminosity going up against United.
Yeah, so this match, again, the second of our 2 European teams this weekend. Elevate, how do they stack up playing under this major organization that is involved in multiple esports? And then you've got Rise Nation, a team of 4 veteran name players in the Call of Duty scene from North America. This one, I'm leaning towards the North American brothers, but Elevate can surprise some people.
Now, taking a look at this Elevate squad, from the far left to the right, that's Shawnee. Yep. He just turned 18. I'm told he is the greatest player from Scotland ever. Better than Jerd, we'll have to see. Next to him, you're going to see Reedy, who has never won a match when I was commentating it. Zed is in seat number 3, and in seat 4, it's always an entertaining one to watch. That's Senior Watson.
So what's funny is, when Felony found out I was casting the match, he was very excited. He said, oh, great, Jackson to gas me up. When Reedy found out you were casting his, he was probably not happy because he knows the history that you have when casting his matches. Hopefully this time around for the European fans of Elevate, that is not the case. Either way, though, these squads getting warmed up, getting their classes set. Now on the other side, the cool, calm, and collected Looney with his new teammates. This is a new experience for both these squads because Rise Nation, they were together as a team through all of Black Ops 3 with Looney and his 3 prior teammates. Also, Aqua, Felony, Facento, they were all together throughout all of Black Ops 3. So the first time these guys have had a new teammate on their lineup, we'll see how they stack up.
You know, when I was talking to Elevate before the match, they said the player we need to look out for is Looney. Yeah. And that surprised me a lot because we've seen the firepower from Aqua. We've seen what Felony has been doing online. But they respect Looney a lot. Yep. And this is a guy who had his team basically leave him. Those guys went over to Luminosity. He lost Slack. He lost Classic. He lost Octane. But how could you pick up a better trio than Aqua, Facento, and Felony? These guys very high finish there. Now Looney, he's got a stacked lineup going up against some of Europe's best.
And here's what I'm really wondering is this now Rise Nation squad, the 3 players in Felony, Facento, Aqua, had a lot of top placings back in Black Ops 3. It wasn't like it was a terrible year, but they never got that championship. And I guess this is now the feeling that Looney is that missing piece. With him now on this lineup, they're ready to be a championship caliber squad. They've all gotten so close in the past. Looney got some tastes of victory back at the beginning of Black Ops 3, but all these guys are really on a pretty severe drought.
And I got a chance to talk with Facento there. You can see him in the middle. I was talking to him earlier. I said, how is it going from Elevate to Rise Nation? It's like, do you like it better? He's like, I like it a lot better. It's just like, we're so comfortable. The org is treating us amazing. They're pumped to be on Rise Nation. The question for me, though, is, are they going to get off to another slow start? Because historically, you look at Facento's teams, they're not the best at the start of a year, Jack.
No, and they want to get it started now or at least use this weekend as a warm-up because you've got MLG Vegas in just a couple short weeks. We saw when this team of 3 was back together last year, they got to one of the MLG LAN finals against Optic Gaming back at Anaheim. But the second time around at Orlando, that's when the team didn't win a map on Championship Sunday. So they want to turn around their fate with MLG LANs. They have the opportunity in 10 short days. And I do believe there's been some teasing on the side of this Elevate lineup. I've seen them start to brew up some things on Twitter about if they'll be in attendance at MLG Vegas. Will they be a 5th European team now in the open bracket? I've seen these guys tease some things. I don't know if it's confirmed yet, but I'm excited to see if this team also comes to the major USA land.
Everyone wants to go to Vegas.
Oh,
Let's
yeah.
be honest. It doesn't matter what country you're from. You want to come out to MLG Vegas. It's going to be a hell of a tournament, but it is going to be a heck of a party as well. And we should remind you guys, tickets are still on sale. Head on over to MLG.tv/store. Pick up your tickets if you want to participate in that tournament. For now, though, we turn our eyes on our match here. This is going to be a best-of-5 between Rise and Elevate. One more time, if you haven't heard about MLG Vegas, or CWL Vegas, excuse me.
Yeah.
The CWL Vegas Open is December 16th through the 18th at the Mandalay Bay Hotel and Casino. $100K in prizing, over 160 teams. It's going to be insane, and if you want to go to MLG.tv/Vegas, you can find your tickets and more right there.
I see the word casino, and that gets me excited.
Have you been to a casino yet, Jack?
I've been
you
to,
just turned 21 last year, right?
Yes, the only casino I've actually been to is the Hippodrome Casino in London. So I'm ready to experience a United States casino.
I'm going to introduce you to Vegas. It's
God.
one of my favorite places.
I fear for my life.
There is a look, though, at Reedy on your screen. On the other side, this is a man who is never afraid to bark out orders, but talking to the squad, Looney may be the guy making all of the shot calls here. Facento, a great mind in Call of Duty. He has huge games. He disappears at times, but at the end of the day, this is a guy who is always going to make a run for a championship.
This is what worries me about this lineup, is their ability to come back from tough scenarios, right? Is they go on tilt a little bit. Can they bounce back? Another player who's probably just getting some LAN experience under his belt is this man right here, Shawnee. You mentioned how he just turned 18. He's facing some powerhouse North American players here. Is he feeling the pressure? There's a large venue packed with people. It is loud. It's intense. It's a new game. How prepared is he for this weekend?
I asked him, are you nervous?
Yeah.
He said, no.
Okay.
We practiced a lot.
Okay.
We're ready. The one thing that they said is going to throw them off is they all practice quite a bit with the weapon draft.
Yes.
So they're not used to running the OSAs across the board. You know, they haven't quite figured out their weapons. But talking with Shawnee, he said, it's going to be great for our team. I know Zed is really excited. He's the former ERAD player, now going to be running the OSA most likely. Yeah. This is a team that has a lot of firepower. Will they be able to put together the teamwork, though, to take down a very practiced Rise Nation squad?
It gets me excited because not only is there this match to look forward to, but on the other side of this bracket, in this Group B matchups, you've got Luminosity Gaming going up against E-United. E-United, they've got their hands full with an extremely practiced and very prepared Luminosity Gaming lineup who, frankly, online coming into this one, scrims from all the pro players I've asked, it was neck and neck between this weekend, LG or FaZe. So it's definitely possible. Back to this matchup, though. Elevate, Rise Nation. We're getting into game number 1. Got to be retaliation, hard point. Zed and the crew getting hyped. Fist bumps all around. The same for Rise Nation. Puckett, I've got to ask you now. I do it every single time. I throw my co-caster under the bus.
I'm going on board with Zed, baby.
Who is winning?
Well, I want Rise to win so I can see Rise and Luminosity go at each other in the next round, but we'll have to see how that one plays out. Now, we are going to like looking at this squad, you got an 18-year-old, a guy who hasn't been on the CWL stage. He's playing with a very confident Watson, a very confident Zed. And if they win this game number 1, he is just going to be coming into this tournament blazing.
I feel like this is what we need to see, just like from what we saw earlier with the other European squad in Orbit. When they wound up coming out of the gates hot, bringing the aggression right to Evil Geniuses, they take that first hard point, and they set the tone for the series. Was it easy? No. It was a very close game. But I think we're going to have something very, very similar here. Retaliation, a great map where every hill there's a weapon that can shine. You've got your hard points where you really do want to have the NV4 out. Obviously, the OSA, good in almost every scenario. And then even towards that middle hall, Havoc was wrecking with the ERAD. Maybe at other times he wasn't, but in that mid-hall, you get him an ERAD, and you might get an ERAD in that hard point with the SMG, and they can light things up.
Really, you think the NV4 is really going to come up clutch in this map?
You would be surprised. If you look at that Graves hard point in that back broken area, you get a player set up where only their head can be seen, long sight lines. Study actually did a really good job with it, because at times that EG would start to claw back in, it was when he was holding the spawns with the NV4. But it's when Nanosa gets up close.
That's the damage dealer right there.
It is not even on the same playing field with how much better that weapon can be and how much more damage it can put down range. I'm seeing that out. We're just getting Felony back into the lobby, and once he is joined on up, we'll be able to start this game one. We appreciate your patience here at the Call of Duty World League PlayStation.
A lot of Rise Nation fans as well. Jack, I didn't answer your question. I said I want to see Rise Nation win. But what's your prediction here? Time to turn the tables on you.
It's fine. And guess what? I'm gonna
give me the score. Game one.
All right. I'm going to predict that Elevate loses by 120 seconds.
Are you kidding me?
I'm saying
250 to 130.
I'm saying it's not close. I'm saying it's not close because every time I bet against the Europeans, they make it close. So I'm doing reverse psychology. I actually got the chance to talk to Pac-Man prior to this match. I said, Pac-Man, you see Elevate, you see Rise Nation. Where does the series go? He says, easy, Rise Nation 3-0.
130 points is disgusting, though, Jack.
Hey, you know what? I'm confident. I'm confident in Felony. Look, Aqua's smiling. Typically, I haven't seen Aqua smile ever.
Oh, good old Yuli.
And now that he's smiling, I know he's going to be locked in. But as I said, if the key to victory for the series is Elevate, shocking Rise Nation in this hard point, and putting them on tilt. That has been what really hurt this squad last year, and I think they can do it again here. I'm seeing the countdown start, Chris. I think we're ready to get into game one.
Now, people have told me that Zed is the best player in Europe. It's either him or Urban is the word on the street.
Okay.
So, Zed,
okay,
you got a lot of hype coming into this one. Is he going to be able to live up to it? We're about to find out.
He's going to have to try to. We're getting into game number one. I think we're going to be good. Maybe not. Nope, I think they're going to have to restart again.
All right. No worries.
This time it was the other team.
You know, we got fresh teams here. They're not used to the LAN environment yet in Infinite Warfare. We got our stage manager who's going to sort them all out.
Yes.
It's going to be a fantastic match once this eventually kicks off.
It will.
But, you know, you look at the two teams and how they match up. I was asking Elevate, what are you good at? And Zed said, honestly, Retaliation, my worst map. Out of all the game modes, Retaliation Hardpoint, my worst.
Okay.
So they're not super confident. Elevate is not banking on a game one. It might be, like you said, 250 to 130.
That would be good.
Search and Destroy, they said it could go either way on Throwback, but if it gets to Precinct Uplink, if it gets to Scorch, Hardpoint, they feel super confident forcing a Game 5, and there, if it does go to Crusher, they're going to pull out the win, says Reedy.
And that's a confidence you need to have, right? They're honest with themselves in that first hard point. It's what we saw even earlier on today with FaZe Clan. Coming out of the gates in hardpoint, making it look easy. They're very practiced for that one. I haven't been able to watch a lot of this Rise Nation team. I know that they've been practicing, but this has always been a team that doesn't like streaming their scrims, keeping things a little bit more under the radar, getting their practice in without really making it public to everybody else. So I'm wondering if they have any tricks up their sleeve, especially now with the weapon draft being gone. How do they try to split these weapons up? Is it going to be OSA heavy, like we've seen from other teams, or will they put still a submachine gun in some of these hard plays?
Oh, they're going OSAs,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
I think we're definitely going to see that happen.
I expect.
The film I did watch was from when Luminosity played Rise Nation, and this was kind of a battle of kind of old teammates. So Looney going up against the guys on Luminosity, and the person that constantly giving slacked and the rest of Luminosity problems was Felony. Is this an online thing? Is this a LAN thing? Jack, you cast him more in Black Ops 3 than I did.
Yeah.
What did you see from Felony in particular?
Felony was the guy that you could rely on to get in a ton of engagements in hardpoint. It wouldn't be that he's putting up major stats. It's just that he is trading kills when his team needs it. He would have a pretty heavy objective time. He was just an all-around consistent player. He was never the one dropping 60. That was Aqua's job for his team. He would just make sure he did what his team needed to win. What I'm wondering, though, is on this lineup, how does that change? Does it change with anything? You've now got Looney, a more aggressive player that can be flooding around the hard point even more. Does that change up the playstyle for Felony a little bit? Do they become more of a dynamic duo with then Facento and Aqua really staying together? Who knows? There's a lot on the table for this team. What's weird is because we came this weekend expecting a weapon draft. We studied so much up on that. How does it affect their playstyle?
I had 18 pages of notes.
Now it's all changed. Everything.
Throw them out.
You thought the players got a curveball. We got a curveball as casters.
Well, we also announced quite a few things this morning, Jackson. It's totally going off topic. We announced CWL plans for next year and some of the big events. Of course, we're going to Vegas here in 2 weeks, but we're also heading to the East Coast. CWL Atlanta Open, Feb 10th through 12th. It's happening at the Georgia World Congress Center.
That sounds like an important place.
Of course, it's the World Congress Center.
Yes.
In Georgia.
And this is what I love, too, is we are getting more EU, NA, APAC before. You don't have to wait until champs to see that happen. You're already seeing it now. It'll be at Vegas with NA and EU, and then the CWL Atlanta Open as well. NA, EU, and APAC all represented, continuing to get that World League feeling where everyone gets involved in those matches. And that's not the only one of those we're having. Later on in the year, we're coming back here to Anaheim, the same location. What is that, June 16th through the 18th, the Anaheim Convention Center. Again, open to teams from NA, EU, and APAC. And that's still a part of that LAN League we talked about. That happens during it. And then later on, there's champs where you know you're going to have international representation. It never stops, the international competition this year.
There's all the events announced ahead of time. I'm sure there's more coming, yes. But a big day here at PSX announcing not only is there going to be a LAN League for the Call of Duty World League next year, there's also going to be 3 major open events, and it all starts in Vegas in just 2 weeks. So big matches coming up here today, big events coming up over the course of several months next year. And talking about that LAN League,
yes,
it begins in April.
It does begin in April, the same month that I was born, so that'll be nice to celebrate.
April what, Jack?
April,
when am I sending you presents?
1994. I will be 23.
94?
Yes.
I was born in 86.
Oh, Chris.
I feel like such an old man next year.
was born in 52, so you've still got some years on it. But the Pro League, it's a global Pro League. 16 teams, 9 from North America, 6 from Europe, 1 from the APAC region in beautiful, sunny Columbus, Ohio. The MLG arena there getting some upgrades, as I've been seeing Adam tweet about, which is always fun to watch.
Oh, dude, that Columbus studio is looking insane. By the way, our makeup artist, after you said 96, did like this coddling motion with her arms. Significant. Anyway, just saying that you're a baby, Jack.
I'm a young lad, okay?
I like it.
I think we're starting now.
I doubt it. Someone's not getting in.
Pray to the COD gods.
We're getting in this time. Third time's the charm. They're practiced at joining into Infinite Warfare LAN games.
I think. I see 4 on one team.
And 4 on the other. We're going.
Oh, we're good.
All right, so this is Zed's worst map. Elevate plans to get their wins in Game 3 and Game 4. But Zed is also used to running an ERAD on Retaliation. Now we get a chance to watch the man with an OSA. And I got to see, man, will he be able to slay the way they were talking about? They hyped him up. Is he going to be able to hang with Aqua and Felony as they're about to charge into the middle of the map together?
Well, let's get into it then. Hard point on Retaliation. I will say, swap to the 2 teams. It's a 2-2 split for Rise Nation and Weapons. 2 K-Bars, 2 OSAs. Similar for Elevate, the biggest difference, they do have an NV4 player. They recognize those long sight lines, how important they can be. Off the break, still following Zed, currently at 0-1 as he'll rotate back towards Bridge, as Rise Nation currently have the lead.
Now, Jack, talk to me a little bit about the spawns here on the bridge. What's the game plan? What's the goal for this first hard point?
So, if you look at the minimap right now, a lot of it is teams just headbutting at either side of the bridge. Now, since Elevate have spawned out near that scaffolding area, they're going to look for a pinch opportunity with so little time left in the hard point. I actually agree with this. They're just going to go ahead, give it up, set up the rotation towards this bottom of the street hard point. Try to maybe make this one go a little bit more in their favor because it did not go well in that first game.
Yeah, honestly, they just got spanked on the first hard point. Rise out to a 29-7 lead. We're taking our screen now to Watson, and the good thing we did, he just picked up 2 kills. Now, I do want to point out, Zed went back to the ERAD after 2 deaths with the OSA. He has pulled out the SMG he's more comfortable with. Maybe that's just because they knew in the hallways it was going to be closer quarters, but I'm going to keep my eye on what he is running throughout the respawns because they are definitely going to need him to slay to keep up with Rise. Right away, though, Watson on a 4 streak. They have caught up with their opponents down by 7. Let's take our screen to Reedy.
But yeah, when you said this is Zed's weakest map, you were not kidding. 0-6 start from him. Players still controlling this top group area, which is so useful when looking down towards that hard point. Elevate. They've struggled again. They got the early rotation here, but then their spawns went out. Rise Nation got control of top group. Now they'll try to push through that back market area, lock down Graves to continue to extend this lead. Currently, the difference in slaying, not too much. It's pretty even, but when you have one player with 0 seconds, triple negative, you just need more from Zed. It's a team effort in this game, Puckett. Everyone
just died from Rise except Vicento, and he's going to fall as well. Let's go over to Shani, who's inside the hard point, just 18 years old, his first ever CWL event here at the Invitational. And this guy, they talked about his search and destroy prowess. How can he hang? In respawns, currently the man is 8-5, leading the team.
Yeah, I love this positioning, too, he has. He's not only leading the team in kills, but he's also leading in objective. About halfway to that reactive armor, just challenging when he knows he's got the advantage on his opponents, It's smart play. Now gets a call out that they're pushing in from this bedroom side. Shawnee doing everything for his team. He's lived for 40 straight seconds in this hard point, and what was a 35-second rotation is now fully in favor of Elevate. And look at your mini-map. They're already in control of Graves, in control of Broken, sorry. You could not ask for anything more.
And that's why I wanted to stay on board with Shawnee. You saw his teammates win the fights at the bottom of the map. Shawnee now coming from the top has to find kills in transition, but all the opponents are on the other side. So how does he position himself to help out his squad? Currently, you hear Watson yelling,